Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November into early December 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. My gods and spirit team, what's happening with my friends? I hope you're all doing fabulous. Let's get it going here as we are in the early stages of Saggy season. What's happening with my Geminis, please? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. Well, let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini, please. In the early stages of Saggy season. What's happening with my friends? Thank you. All right, High Priestess energy right here in the front end. Now, just for those of you that are new here, this isn't a tarot deck. It's an oracle deck, but this card just gives me all of those High Priestess vibes. So much subtle energy, a lot of intuition. There's a lot of sensitivity here as well. So we'll talk about that. There's a lot to unravel before we do, though. If you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this beautiful High Priestess. So if you look at the imagery here, we see this older divine feminine figure. She's in front of a crystal ball. There is a key within it. There's a lockbox next to her. So that does imply somebody with sacred knowledge or secret knowledge, which is a big thing with High Priestess energy. So when this shows up front and center, there's a few things I have to say right off the jump. One, your energetic sensitivity could be very heightened in this time, like extremely heightened to the max. So you might be feeling energies of those that you're connected with. You might be feeling energies of places, people, things, like it just heightened. Even if like your gift of intuition isn't through the roof as it is, like it could be in this time. High Priestess energy is very subtle as well. So there is mystery involved here. There's a sense of the unknown, the unseen, the unexpected. It's extremely spiritual. So for some of you, maybe you're throwing some more energy than you normally are into spiritual study, learning new things about spirituality, astrology, stuff like that. But High Priestess energy, there's a secrecy to it. Okay, so we'll see with what you might be dealing with in the coming days and weeks. Just know about the energetic sensitivity, and there's some aspect of the unknown that's being highlighted here in the front end. So let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Gemini, my guides. Talk to me. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. It was really nice last week. Now, I know in recent weeks and months, the Gemini readings have been very much up and down, but last week's was titled A Massive Breakthrough. So if one hasn't happened last week, that energy could still bleed over into this week, where something that may have been delayed or something that may have been bothering you or something you may have been working towards could finally see big leaps and gains. That's a beautiful thing. All right, so let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. But let's get it going here for Gemini. Yeah, we really want to keep the good times rolling, right? Let's get 3 cards to start. What's happening with my friends? Thank you. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Now we have the Queen of Wands here in position number 1. Could be fire sign energy. It's a big card of confidence. But right here in the center, we have the Ten of Swords. That's something we're going to have to watch out for as we go through the reading. You know, whenever a Ten of Swords pops up, it immediately gets my attention. Let's get one more out here, then we'll go through. Especially with the fire-air combination, King of Swords. Okay. Ooh, are these people at odds? All right. That could be your energy right here. With the King of Swords, doesn't matter, male, female, or anything in between. You know, these cards, they could represent people, but they're not gender specific. So let's go through and go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get the juicy intuitive stuff. And I'll be honest with you, Gemini, the way this energy is presenting itself from the jump, it does have me a little concerned, right? We'll see when we get into all the clarification. But when we look down here, there's a couple of themes that we're seeing right here in the front end. First, we have a king, we have a queen. Generally represents partnerships, very similar to the Two of Cups. Doesn't matter that they're separate suits. Elementally, We have air, we have fire. You know, I always say when you mix fire and air, it's a little bit of a kaboom, right? It could be volatile. Now that could be good for readings like last week where there are breakthroughs or there were breakthroughs, but at the same time, there's an unpredictability here. Now, just the way these are sandwiching the Ten of Swords, like this could be two people at odds or feeling the same, like there's grieving possibly happening here. But let's go through each one by one and really start to build this out, because I don't want to jump too far in, but there might be some warnings here. I'll tell you right off the jump, but let's start here in position number 1. We have the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy. So you may be linked to an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If not, the Queen of Wands, I'll say this, queens represent the internal and kings represent control of their respective suit. So when I see a queen, it does represent an internal fire that might be burning within you. Now, this could be passion, it could be confidence, it could sometimes even be anger with the Queen of Wands. I see this card, I think of confidence, how one views themselves, how one treats themselves, okay? So in this time, hey, maybe you're feeling more confident, right? You might be on cloud 9, feeling good, feeling confident. It's a very beautiful type of card as well. So maybe there's something about your aesthetics that you're changing, right? Maybe something with your look, your hair, your clothing. But the same can go in the opposite way with the Queen of Wands. It could be someone that has taken a ding to their self-confidence in one way or another. It could sometimes be someone that's feeling a little down or unpredictable. So we'll really have to see, especially next to a card like this Ten of Swords. Now, one thing I'm noticing here, like when we look at the cards literally, it's like the Queen is looking at this Ten of Swords, but the King is ignoring it. Okay, so we really want to see how this all plays together. Getting to the center, we have the big bad Ten of Swords. Now, you know, here at Kyle of Cups, we don't fear any card. All cards have positives. All cards have challenges, right? Now, the Ten of Swords is classically seen as one of the more challenging energies and cards of the whole entire deck. We've all experienced this energy from at one point or another. So when I see the Ten of Swords, let's go through the challenges first before I get to the positive silver linings we could pull. All tens in tarot could represent endings, okay? Closes of a cycle. This one, you could see by the imagery, could represent a lot of pain. Okay, this could sometimes represent a rock bottom, a very tough ending, someone that's really going through something difficult. When we have this Ten of Swords, it could represent loss. All right, that's why I said like these energies could be grieving, so to speak. So we'll really want to see what's up with this as we move further, whether this is something that's happened in the past or something that's coming down the pipeline. We all deal with it from time to time. But the good thing about Ten of Swords energy is that although it is an ending or a possible loss, the energy doesn't go lower than the Ten of Swords, right? There's only one way to go, and that's up when we have this energy. So we'll really dig into it deeper, whether it's something from the past or something that's currently elapsing. We'll really want to see what's up with that. Now, getting to the back end, this is where it piques my interest even more. We have the King of Swords. Now, as you know, Gemini is an air sign. The King of Swords represents air sign energy. There's a lot of powerful traits to this card. So this could be you first and foremost. So when we clarified, it could be something you're feeling, something you're going through, something that's coming towards you. But when I see this card, I think of a master strategist, somebody that has a ton of determination. It's not as watery as the King of Cups. It doesn't feel things as deeply. It's very intellectual when we have this King of Swords, so it could represent the mind. But as with the Queen of Swords, it's straightforward. It's to the point, it's no nonsense, and there's an air of seriousness to this card. So it could represent serious situations, serious things going on, or something that you're taking seriously. But yeah, master strategist, tons of determination. And with the way the cards are laid out, yeah, these could be people handling something in completely different ways. But when I see a Ten of Swords between two possible individuals, that's something we want to investigate. So I want to dive deeper, Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Gemini. And I know we saw it like 3 or 4 weeks ago. We did see an ending in the cards as well. So this could be something that's already elapsed. But let's see what's happening with Gemini. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Queen of Wands time. What's happening? What's happening? Thank you. Four Cups. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Someone's got you on the mind, my friends. That's one thing for sure. Okay. Either you got someone on the mind big time, or someone is like thinking about you, and it feels almost incessant. Okay. Like the energy I'm picking up off this. Four Cups in the upright. Generally, this could be a card. There's a lot of daydreaming. There's a lot of mental action. Even though it is of the cup suit, like we still have this fire air happening up top here. And this is extremely mental. So there's a lot of mental energy happening like throughout the spread as a whole. But when I see this Four of Cups, sometimes it's somebody that doesn't see an offer that's on the table, or somebody that's not looking towards the future. They're just standing pat. They might be waiting or holding off as well. So it could be somebody that's in a holdout mode, but I feel for a lot of you, like either there is somebody on your mind in a very powerful way where it's like, all right, I can't shake it. I can't not think about this. Or it could just be a situation too, right? There might be a situation or something that's like, all right, why does it keep popping up into my head? I can't stop thinking about this. Or once again, that could be how someone feels towards you, right? You might be that Queen of Wands where it's like it's like a brain worm type of energy. That's just what I'm picking up here, Gemma. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad, but there is somebody like, it could also be somebody sitting back and recovering as well. That's another vibe I'm picking up here in the front. Now, I feel like the Ten of Swords and the King of Swords, they're really going to be the critical pieces of this reading. But if you're wondering if someone thinks about you, it's right there. Or there might be a topic that's just on your mind quite a bit. Let's move over to that Ten of Swords. Just remember, this is all internal energy. So let's see why the Ten of Swords is here. God, Spirit Team. Could be a warning for sure. So why is that Ten of Swords in the mix? Okay, yeah, the deck is acting a little funky here. Oh yeah. Yeah, big warning here. Five of Pentacles in the upright underneath this Ten of Swords. Somebody is not taking something easily. Okay, somebody is in a lot of pain. I'm picking up a lot of pain here right in the center. And you know me, if you're a long-time watcher, I'm not a fearmonger, but I give you the messages straight. Five of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, those energies kind of go together like peanut butter and jelly. This could also represent feelings of isolation. Somebody might be feeling like some lonesomeness or feeling alone in one way or another. But there is I've been getting this for you in recent weeks as well. Like there's something that's being longed for. There's something that's being thought about. And it's all over the place. There's somebody hurting here in a big way. There's a lot of pain in the center. Now, the Five of Pentacles, I will say this. It's a multifaceted warning here because the Five of Pentacles could represent financial, but at the same time, it could be someone's emotional feelings. Five of Pentacles to me, beware of job issues, job loss, tough job changes that are forced upon you in this time. When we have Ten of Swords, Five of Pentacles, like that could be very shocking or out of nowhere for some of you. But if that's not the case, if you've been through some Ten of Swords recently, okay, whether it's been physical, mental, emotional, there is somebody that is in quite a lot of pain, right? They're not healed from this energy that we have in the center. And there's still this little bit of loneliness or lonesomeness in somebody's. I feel like that's a big warning there in the center, okay? Now, if these energies are coming at you, I mean, you just got to roll with the punches, right? Like, I'm not going to give advice and tell you what you have to do. For a lot of you, this could be something that's already happened or something that's sticking with you, though. There is something left unhealed with this energy. So let's go in on that King of Swords. All right, we're not gonna focus too much on it. It is what it is, but that could be a serious warning for sure in the center, especially financially. Make sure you're not overspending or anything like that as well. Just watch the finances. Let's go in on that King of Swords. Why is that King of Swords here? Okay, guarded, very guarded. Yeah, Nine of Wands in the upright, more fire to mix in with the air combo. Okay. Yeah, this is a person that's been through a thing or two. Now, if this, I'll say this because there's various storylines showing up here, Gemini. If this is two people dealing with the same situation, they're dealing with them in complete opposite ways. Whereas one is going within, they're in the mental space, using the imagination, thinking about a lot. The other is kind of just trying to sever it or not think about it. Like that's a vibe I'm picking up here, like being guarded, like no, I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to make sure that doesn't ever happen again. And it's a big skepticism here. Just like I said in the middle, there's a serious warning involved, but these two energies are dealing with it in separate ways. Okay, so maybe this is Spirit saying like, hey, if this does happen, if this does come in, these are two possible paths and options, all right? Now, I do feel like this one, it's not like they're both affected, like this one's more affected than that one. That's not a vibe I'm picking up. They're just handling them in complete different ways. The Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior, right? Somebody that's been through a few Ten of Swords a time or two. They don't want to go through it again, right? Like they're very skeptical. They're on guard. This could be someone that's very territorial. This could be someone that's extremely protective. So these might be energies that you're stepping into in this time. But with the seriousness of this King of Swords and the other energies we have in the middle and the warning that we have in the middle, it makes complete and total sense to me. That's like, okay, well, I've been through that and it's not happening again. And I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again in that way. There is somebody really, I don't want to use a word like suppressing, but they're trying to close it off in a different way, right? Like where this one is just that mental, nonstop. This one is like, okay, out of sight, out of mind. Okay, I'm not going to think about it. It's not going to affect me. That's the vibe I'm picking up here. So let's go through and do a quick recap, Gemini. Obviously, only take this if it hits. And you can check your other alignments, right? But there's a lot of tension in this reading this week. Before we get into the shadow card, if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Queen of Wands with the Four of Cups here right in the front. Now, I did say to me, this felt like somebody who either you're on someone's mind in a very, very big way, or maybe you have someone on your mind. If it's not a literal person, it could be a certain situation that you can't shake, that it just keeps popping up in your head over and over and over and over. And it's like, why can't I stop thinking about this? Okay, maybe this is the final result of you at the end. In the center, we have the Ten of Swords with the Five of Pentacles. A couple of serious warnings here in the center. First off, we do have that monetary financial warning here. There might be some pain surrounding that. Watch out for issues with like job loss or anything like that. It could be in the mix. Maybe someone you're connected to is dealing with it. But a big thing I'm picking up here is a feeling of solitude and loneliness. So somebody could be feeling the effects of this Ten of Swords moment in a very, very powerful way. They're not healed from it. On the back end, we have the King of Swords with the Nine of Wands, wounded warrior. Makes sense, right? They've been through this. They don't want to go through it again. Very guarded, shielded, a little closed off. Now, does that mean these energies are going to stay this way? Absolutely not. Energies are always shifting and changing, right? But at this point, if this is two people dealing with the same situation, they're complete opposite takes, right? They're handling it in completely opposite ways. So there's a couple of serious warnings this week, Gemini. Please take a screenshot. Let's get you a shadow card here. Maybe we'll get a little more detail in the shadows, right? Let's see what's happening with Gemini, please. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end. I feel like it's a nice thing to do. Whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. So let's see what's in the shadows for you, Gemini. And yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. There's a few different tiers, different rewards for each tier that you might want to check out. Obviously, no pressure, but it's a beautiful way to support the channel. Let's get you your shadow card. Real quick here, what's in the shadows for Gemini? Thank you. All right, taking that first. Queen of Cups, the internal, that makes sense. Okay, like, so please make sure you're taking care of yourself emotionally here when this card shows up as a shadow card. The Queen of Cups could represent a water sign that you're connected to, could represent issues or pain involving a mother figure here. But one thing about the Queen of Cups, if it's not a water sign, yes, very maternal, loving, nurturing, and caring, but she is one of the most emotional cards within the whole entire deck, and she feels things in a very deep way. And a challenge of her is suppression. So when I see this as a shadow card, Spirit could be saying, hey, there's something you might be suppressing that it's not doing any good. Like if you're suppressing it, you need some sort of release for it. That's a big thing I'm picking up here, Gemini. So take from that what you will, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the October subscriber surprise, the winners will be in the community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for November, we're bringing back winner's choice. 2 lucky subscribers will get to pick a deck of their choosing up to $40 US. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you think is the most fun? Which one do you have the most fun with? And yeah, after that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of November, I'll pick the winners at random as usual. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.